if you do not get out of the way. This is not about the photography. This is about God.
Oh! Oh! Oh, there's... Oh my God! There's... Oh... That actually gets my heart racing. That actually... Whew, that actually makes me feel nervous just watching that. You all have to watch this video. Go to... I'll put the link down below. This is so bad. So it seems like I'll go over it bit by bit. Let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. Wedding photography. There's a wedding happening here, and it's a shot from behind the minister. You're getting a video shot. You've got good audio. It's outside. You've got the bride and the groom and the back of the minister. So this shot, I would say, is probably a shot which is likely to be taken in a lot of weddings, especially outdoor weddings. Maybe not so much like indoors in a church, but in a wedding where the bride and groom are going to be facing away from the audience and facing towards the minister. You want to get shots of the bride and groom. You'd more likely do it from left or right, from a little bit further back, but here's right from behind. This way, being behind, I don't think this person is the actual person that's causing the issue. It sounds like there's... well, this is obviously a video camera, but it also sounds like there's a cameraman to the left, which I would say is probably bang spot on where you want him to be, so he's getting a good shot straight off the bride's face. And just...
And in accordance with God's will, you do now confess it. We're still good, huh?
So you can hear there's a couple clicks going off. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it sounds like they're pretty much motorboating? Not motorboating. Motor driving, taking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe doing multiple exposure shots just in case they don't need to get it. But the minister, this is the odd thing, it's an outdoors one, and then the minister turns around and says this.
Please, sirs, leave.
Please, sirs, leave. Oh, now, if these cameramen and video guy were not part of the wedding, as in they were just tourists walking past and started taking photos, totally on this guy's side. But if he's saying this to people who are being paid by the bride and groom to take photos of their special wedding day in an outdoor place where it's not like it's in a church and the photographers are on his altar or anything like that. Not so good here.
Please.
Okay, death stare with a please, which is not really a please, that's a do it or I will kill you stare. Photographer says, where do you want me to be?
Anywhere other than here.
Anywhere other than here. Now, straight away you can look at the groom's face and he's just like, what's just happening here? So the minister is saying anywhere other than here. So not, could you do it to the side, or could you take the sound off, or could you shoot from somewhere else? He's saying anywhere other than here. Is here the whole wedding? Is it the whole venue?
Okay. This is a solemn assembly, not a photography session. Please move.
Oh, so this is a solemn assembly, not a photography session. Please move. Oh, yeah, solemn. Yeah, indeed. And they want it to be recorded. He's now staring straight at the guy who's doing the video. The video's not making any sound. This is just a guy behind a camera just pointing at the bride and groom on their special day, getting shots of their faces and their reactions. And now all that they're getting is a shot of their utter shock and his face.
Or I will stop.
Or I will stop. So now he is threatening the photographers that he is going to stop the wedding because the photographers were doing their job, if it is doing their job, are doing their job. And look at the bride herself and the groom, look at their faces. They're just like, what the fuck? She's like, is this actually happening? And he's like, are you actually saying this? I could just imagine in their in their position right there, they would be raging, absolutely raging.
I will stop the ceremony if you do not get out of the way.
So the photographer says, if you want me to leave, I will leave. I don't know whether he's saying that to the minister or whether he's saying it to the bride and groom, because if this photographer is being paid by the bride and groom, which at this point, this really makes me think that this is not a tourist that's walking past or just a passerby. This is actually somebody who is being paid. So I think he's actually saying it to the bride and groom, saying, if you want me to move, I will move. But it may be saying it to the minister, but this, so wrong. There's something, I don't know if somebody says something there. There's something said.
This is not about the photography. This is about God.
So the guy just picks up the camera and the video camera and heads off. Oh, and there's another photographer at the side. So it seems like there's definitely another photographer there. And if you actually see during the ceremony, there's a tripod up here. So it may be the case that there's like an overdose of cameramen and photographers and stuff here, but oh, you've got to watch it. Honestly, that makes my heart go, not only for the photographer or the video guy, but also for the bride and groom, because if that was me on my wedding day, that would just be ruined. Oh, I think that was a bad call by the minister. Granted, do you know what? The only thing I would say is, like, let's say that was happening and that was getting on everybody's tits, and the photographer taking all those photos. If I was the minister, I would at one point just turn around quietly and go, excuse me guys, would you mind moving somewhere else? It's getting a little bit distracting. Because I totally understand, if he is doing his job and there's clicks going off in his ear, that can be distracting, that can be putting him off his job. So what if I was the minister, I would turn and say, guys, could you just give us like 5 more minutes? You can get the shots after this, but if you could just let me do this because I'm needing to concentrate here. Fair enough. Absolutely, 100%, totally deal with that, no problem. But here, he says, at a volume which everyone can hear, and with a face like death, turning around and telling them, please leave. Not move somewhere else or hold it off for a minute or something like that. Or even giving them another idea of like, we'll get the shots right after. What I would say also from the photographer's point of view is at any wedding, always meet with the minister beforehand and always find out what they're cool with. If there's some ministers that say don't go behind the minister. Some people say don't go to the right or to the left or something like that. Every place have different rules. Some ministers will know a location better than the photographer because the minister will have been doing it in that place, and they'll be saying, hide behind that pew over there, you get the best shots. You're like, thank you very much. So you can always get advice from ministers, certainly in churches or inside buildings or venues where they've done before. This, however, was an outdoors one. Oh, just so wrong in so many places. Check the link down below and make up your own mind. Hope it helps. Bye bye.